High speed, low altitude, crazy stunts, and even crazier noises. Bizarrely, these strange droning sounds are the key to these fighter jets flying just 45 centimeters apart at speeds up to 1,100 kilometers per hour without colliding. So, how do they do it? 9 a.m., El Centro Naval Air Station, California. This is the winter home of the Blue Angels, the US Navy's elite aerobatic display team. If you're just too good for Top Gun, you might get a shot at flying with these guys. 6 of the world's top pilots are about to put their $30 million FA-18 Hornet fighter jets through maneuvers that would tear the wings off any ordinary aircraft. These are no ordinary aircraft. The lightweight paint job reduces drag. Every possible step has been taken to keep these aircraft streamlined.
If you look on the wings, you'll see there's no external tanks, no external pylons.
Even the fuel pump is modified to keep pumping while flying upside down for prolonged periods.
Power set.
But for the extreme flying these planes do, the most crucial modification is inside the cockpit. The highly sensitive controls of a combat fighter jet can flip it round in an instant. But when planes are flying less than half a meter apart, that sensitivity could be fatal. The Blue Angel solution is a tension spring attached to the FA-18's control column to help keep it steady. Lieutenant Mark Swinger explains.
It's simply a bolt-on spring that the engineers designed that has about 40 pounds of forward pressure. I have some maneuvers in the diamond formation where I will literally, with that 40 pounds of forward pressure, move my fingers with the stick, and the airplane moves how I need it to move.
The extra pressure from the spring stops any tiny twitches from turning into dangerous maneuvers. The tight turns of aerobatic flying cause problems for the planes, but they also put enormous strain on the pilots. If the plane climbs or turns suddenly, the G-force can quickly drain blood from the head down to the feet, causing the pilot to black out. To counter this, most fighter pilots wear special suits called G-suits that inflate around them, restricting the flow of blood and keeping them conscious. The trouble is, inflatable clothing also affects movement. And if you're performing super fast twists and turns in a tight formation, that could be lethal.
If we had a G-suit inflating and deflating while we pulled G, my arm would be doing this, and I wouldn't be able to fly the 2 feet to 18 inches we fly from each other during the air show. So that's the reason for not wearing G-suits.
So aerobatic pilots have to come up with a different solution. No, he hasn't got the hiccups. It's a controlled breathing technique that helps to maintain the oxygen supply to his brain during high G maneuvers.
At about that frequency, and we practice it a lot.
The next problem is navigation. When you're flying a fighter jet, it's useful to know where you're going. But when you're twisting and turning at 1,100 kilometers an hour, you can't just steady the joystick between your knees and start fumbling around with a map. Team leader Commander Greg McWhirter is in charge of not getting lost. To keep them on course, before every routine, Greg and his team fly the area to find reference points, which can later act as a cue for maneuvers or turns.
For the left turn for the line rest loop.
You use whatever stands out. If it's a mountain, if it's a water tower, if it's, if it's a no kidding, a field that looks greener than all the other fields, if it stands out to you and it's something that you can, in a moment's notice, at 200 feet, at 500 knots, look out and say, that's it, I got it, then use it.
2 miles.
Then he applies what he saw in the air to a photographic map made from satellite images.
And I'll actually then mark up my map so that I have something to study at night, saying, well, at a mile, it wasn't quite this this field right here, but there was a definite 90-degree kink in the road that is at exactly a mile. That's a great checkpoint. So once I've got these checkpoints, then I'm ready to go.
A crowd of 40,000 people has gathered, hoping these brave pilots can fly as precisely as they salute.
Updated winds 240 at 6. You're clear to taxi. Pause and hold. Runway.
Let's take off. Have some. Thanks, Bo. Clear for takeoff.
This is the first display of the new Blue Angels season. It's a new routine, but the team has to get it perfectly first time.
Clear on 9. Let's fire it up with Danny Brown. Let's run them up.
In this game, the smallest mistake can lead to disaster. Once in the air, Greg's plane takes the lead. Whatever he does, the rest of the team must copy. The problem is how to react quickly enough. They can't afford to wait to follow Greg. They need to anticipate his every move, which means they need to know what he's thinking.
You're flying as close as we fly. They can't wait to see my jet move before they move. They have to move when they know I'm going to move.
To help the guys read his mind, Greg speaks his mind. He describes everything he's about to do, but in a really weird way.
Burners ready now. Easing power. Easing more power.
No, Greg hasn't been at the Bourbon, and it's not the G-force making him talk funny. The team knows that the speed and tone of Greg's voice reflects the timing and duration of his next maneuver. When he turns slow, he talks slow. Quick rolls demand fast talking.
Ready, hit it.
Timing is everything. For the team's most exciting maneuvers, like the fleur-de-lis, they have to split up.
Ready, break.
The trouble is, when they're separated from Greg, the other pilots have to handle their own navigation. When you're flying like this, a sat-nav simply won't do the trick. So instead, the pilots depend on something less high-tech, but a lot more reliable. And the solution fits in the palm of your hand. Reflected sunlight from this pocket-sized mirror gives pilots a constant reference point, so they can instantly work out their position.
310, we're in a left turn for the line of rest loop.
Lieutenant Manuel Sanchez is in charge of looking after the planes.
With the sun angle, you can actually flash it at the jets, and no kidding, the pilots say that it's like a big, giant diamond just gleaming on the ground.
It's the simplest and most effective way for the ground team to guide the flyers home. As long as no one's checking their makeup nearby. It's been another flawless display, and the crowd at El Centro certainly seem to appreciate the results of all that hard work. For the Blue Angels, it's just the beginning of a challenging season of 36 shows. For the next 6 months, the dedicated men and women of this team will travel the length and breadth of America in Fat Albert, the C-130 Hercules transport plane that acts as the team bus. It's job done at El Centro. Next stop, Florida.